Some castles weren't just impressive, they were nearly impossible to conquer. Built on cliffs, surrounded by water, and wrapped in layers of stone and steel, these fortresses were designed to break invading armies. In this video, we're ranking the 10 strongest medieval castles in Europe based on 3 things: strategic location, defensive design, and real battlefield resilience. No myths, no aesthetics, just the castles that proved time and again that they were built to survive. Number 10. Trakai Castle. The castle was built in the 14th century in the Grand Duchy of Lithuania. It has an immediately noticeable defensive advantage. The castle is situated on an island and surrounded by water, with only a wooden bridge connecting it to the mainland. Should an enemy attack, the bridge could be quickly destroyed. However, while the castle played a role in the conflicts between the Lithuanians and the Teutonic Knights in the 15th century, it served more as a residence for the Lithuanian dukes than as a massive military stronghold. So even though in the Middle Ages you would have felt rather safe behind these giant brick walls, Trakai Castle's defences simply don't compare to those of the remaining 9 fortresses. Number 9. The Alcazar of Segovia. Constructed in the 12th century within the Kingdom of Castile in what is now Spain, the Alcázar of Segovia sits high atop steep cliffs. This gave it strong natural protection, which was further reinforced by solid walls and a defensive moat. Yet despite these advantages, the castle's role, just like with previously mentioned Trakai, was divided between defence and royal residence. It was more of a palace than a fortress. Beautiful? Absolutely. But if we're talking raw defensive power, not quite enough to hang with the heavyweights. Since it never endured many major sieges, it is difficult to evaluate Alcazar's defences and place the castle above the remaining 8, despite its strengths. Number 8. Jorge Castle. First built by the Moors in the 11th century and later expanded by the Kingdom of Portugal, Lisbon's Jorge Castle stands on a hilltop. Its walls, towers and gates gave solid local defence. But the fortress never faced a major siege, and it is small compared to the great castles of Europe. Strong and solid for the medieval Kingdom of Portugal, yes, but not one of the continent's truly unbreakable fortresses. Number 7. Burg Eltz. Built in the 12th century in the Holy Roman Empire, Burg Eltz sits on a rocky hill surrounded by steep valleys and forest. Its location and thick stone walls made it incredibly hard to attack. The castle was never ever taken by force. Instead, it survived through a mix of strong defences, diplomacy and alliances. Still, Burg Eltz was a family castle, not a massive fortress. Exclusive, secure, but not built as a stronghold to run an empire from. Number 6. Eger Castle. Founded in the 13th century in the Kingdom of Hungary, Eger Castle became famous in 1552 when about 2,000 defenders held off a huge Ottoman army. Clever use of artillery and sheer determination made the defence legendary. The castle is smaller and perhaps less visually impressive than some of the others on this list, but its proven record in battle gives it a strong place in the ranking. Number 5. Carcassonne. The fortified city of Carcassonne, built in the 12th century in the Kingdom of France, has double walls and more than 50 towers. It guarded an important route between France and Spain and was considered nearly impossible to storm. Carcassonne is also one of the best preserved medieval fortresses in Europe, which lets us see its strength even today. Walking through it now honestly feels like stepping onto a medieval movie set. We're almost at the best part, the final 4, the most powerful medieval castles in Europe. Before we continue, I just want to say thank you for being here, and I hope this video has been interesting and worth your time. I'm a new channel, so if you're enjoying the content, please consider leaving a like, a comment and subscribing. It really helps and it motivates me to keep making historical documentaries. Now let's get back to the castles. Number 4. Rumeli Fortress. Rumeli Hisari was built in the 15th century by the Ottoman Empire on the Bosphorus Strait. Sultan Mehmed II had it completed in just 4 months to cut off supplies to Constantinople. With its massive towers, thick stone walls and heavy cannon positions, the fortress controlled the narrow waterway and made it nearly impossible for ships to pass without Ottoman permission. Its location turned the Bosphorus into a choke point, giving the Ottomans total command of the strait. Rumeli Hisari became one of the most effective siege support fortresses of the Middle Ages and played a direct role in the fall of Constantinople in 1453. Number 3. The Kremlin. We're moving to the big boys now. In the late 15th century, the Grand Duchy of Moscow rebuilt the Kremlin with the help of Italian engineers. Its red brick walls, up to 5 meters thick, and dozens of fortified towers made it one of the strongest fortresses in Europe. The Kremlin was more than just walls. It was a vast complex that held palaces, churches, armories, and enough space to shelter the city's population in times of war. Its combination of size, durability, and political importance made it both the heart of Muscovy and a stronghold on a grand scale. Number 2. Malbork Castle. This thing is an absolute unit. Founded in the 13th century by the Teutonic Knights, Malbork Castle in modern-day Poland is the largest brick castle in the world. With its high, middle and lower castles, each with moats and walls, it was designed as a fortress/city. Its vast granaries and barracks allowed it to sustain large garrisons for extended sieges. The Teutonic Order ruled from here for nearly 2 centuries, and the castle's scale and layered defences made it one of the most intimidating strongholds in all of Europe. Even centuries later, during World War II, Malbork was used by German forces as a defensive position. The fact that a medieval castle could still play a role in modern warfare shows just how formidable its design truly was. I actually debated putting Malbork at number 1, and honestly, I wouldn't fault anyone for arguing that it deserves the top spot. But personally, I think the next castle still has a slight edge. Number 1. Dover Castle. Built and expanded from the 12th century onward in the Kingdom of England, Dover Castle stands above the White Cliffs overlooking the English Channel. Known as the Key to England, it guarded the shortest sea route from France. So if an invasion force crossed the Channel, Dover was one of the first places that had to hold. Its strength came from layered defences, thick outer walls, strong gatehouses, and positions that controlled the steep approach up the hill. At its centre is the Great Tower, built under King Henry II in the late 1100s, designed as both a royal stronghold and a statement of power. Dover also had an extensive tunnel system carved into the chalk, letting defenders move and store supplies under cover, adding depth in defence that few fortresses could match. A neat fact is that those tunnels weren't just medieval leftovers, they were reused and expanded in later centuries, showing how Dover's location stayed strategically important long after the Middle Ages. Altogether, the combination of commanding geography and defence-in-depth design is why Dover earned its reputation as one of the strongest medieval castles in Europe. So let's quickly recap. We started with Trakai, Alcázar of Segovia and São Jorge. Strong and well-positioned, but more residential than truly unbreakable. Burg Eltz followed. Never taken by force, yet built as a secure family stronghold rather than an imperial fortress. Eger earned its place through legendary resistance against the Ottomans, while Carcassonne impressed with its massive double walls and near impenetrable layout. Then we moved into the heavyweights. Rumeli Hisari, built to choke the Bosphorus and help bring down Constantinople. The Kremlin, a vast fortified heart of Muscovy, and Malbork, the largest brick castle in the world, practically a fortified city. But in the end, Dover Castle took the top spot. Its commanding position above the English Channel, layered defences and deep tunnel system, making it, in my view, the strongest medieval castle in Europe. That's it for now. Hope to see you again soon.